right, party people, welcome back. I am so excited to dive into this episode because I am going to answer something one time and then have it be answered for every other time somebody asks me. I'm also giving you the gift of human design today, which was a gift to the world to get us through these times and turbulent situations that we're experiencing right now because we are
Blueprint.
headed. It is your DNA on paper. It tells you how to move through life with the least amount of resistance. So I like to think of it as your body as IKEA furniture. Your being is like IKEA furniture. So IKEA furniture comes with directions that makes it really, 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 really simple if you just look at the picture. And so what most people do is they look at the picture or they look at the furniture and are like, I got it. I got it. Oh my God, you put that thing together. You use that screw here. Like, who needs these ridiculous directions with no English on them? Okay. So most people are moving through the world like that, like, got it. But I prefer to use the directions because there are bits and pieces specific to that piece of furniture. And every single time that I have tried to build the furniture without the instructions, I've actually had to go back and fix something. It's taken me 10 times longer with the most amount of frustration, which is exactly what happens when you don't follow your specific blueprint for life. Like, yeah, the furniture is going to get built, but it's going to be like wobbly and probably ugly or backwards. Like, ask my assistant Matt. I still do this sometimes. I tried to I got to the point where I didn't use the directions, obviously, and I didn't even care that one of the drawers were upside down. He's like, you don't care? I'm like, at this point, I don't care. And anytime that I get frustrated, I know that I'm out of alignment. And so he went back and he fixed it for me. And so here's what I'm doing for you. I'm going to fix this drawer for you. So yes, you're going to get there. You're going to get wherever you're going. Your vehicle, which is your body, is going to get there. But it's up to you if you want to use the directions and get there with the least amount of stress and in the correct way for you and in pristine and beautiful condition at your optimal. Or if you want to show up like with the wrong desk or the wrong drawer, looking backwards with the wrong screws and completely frustrated and 10 hours late. That's completely up to you. You know, there's no judgment. But to me, that's what this whole thing is. IKEA furniture is the best metaphor for this. So, you know, most of us are pushing against life. And here's the deal. Yes, if you push a boulder for long enough, every single day, all day long, that son of a bitch is going to move. It's going to move, but just slightly. Why don't you just walk around it? Just walk around it, crawl over it, whatever you need to do. But so that's what we're doing. We're going through, we're pushing against life as opposed to, and how we think we should, you know, how our mind says we should, as opposed to just looking at the instructions. You know, we're building the furniture how we think it should go, as opposed to like what the instructions say. We're living life the way that we think that we should based on what everybody else around us has told us is correct for us. But this is your way of living. There is a guide to how you can live your life. And so stop pushing that boulder and let's just walk around it, or let's clean it up and make it a crystal and just, you know, meditate with it. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just about choice here. And that's what I want to offer to you. You can push against life, or you can let life live through you, which is exactly what you came to this planet to do. Okay. So my focus on design is business. Because I was a businesswoman when I found it, I had built multiple businesses. I had burnt businesses to the ground. I was completely burnt out. My marriage was at its absolute worst. I was at my biggest weight. I was at my unhealthiest. I was frustrated with my 1-year-old. Like, who gets frustrated with, I mean, everybody does, but I mean, I was mostly frustrated with my 1-year-old. I was not enjoying my time with him, and was not okay with me. And that was when I found human design. And so, you know, before I used it, I built 3 successful businesses, and then I found it. And I had done all of those the hard way. Like, I'd pushed my way through, clenching my teeth at night, not sleeping, inconsistency. You know, I just told you about my personal life. I did it the hard way, and I did it the way that everybody tells you to do it. And then I found human design, and I did it that way. And I built this business that way. And you guys, it has been it has been, I don't even have words. It has been simple. It has been joyful. It has been transformational, and it has been easy. Like it has grown 1,000% in the last 3 years. I think literally that's grown 1,000%. Oh my gosh, we might have done, I think we're close. We're almost at 1 million at the end of this month. Could squeak in, another 100K and we'll be at 1 million just for the year. But we've done 1 million in the last, 2 years. We've definitely done more than 1 million in the last 2 years. So, but a lot of it happened in this year when I fully integrated the human design. So, enough about me. I just wanted to kind of illuminate for you the difference in my life before human design and after human design. And a lot of my clients have felt that shift too. One of my clients who's now a coach in my program, Tiffany, when I met Tiffany, was living with her boyfriend, baby daddy at the time, and with her daughter and I think it was her stepmom, in a small bedroom apartment. I don't know, 2-bedroom apartment, maybe 3, I don't know. And she came to me, and when she spoke, it was so meek and mild. And she, was really owning that she was an empath. And I was like, well, you're not. So let's stop owning something we aren't and identifying with who we aren't and who society, because we cry, does not mean we're an empath. Because we feel does not mean we're an empath. And I'll explain more of that in later episodes. And so she was identifying with something that she wasn't. And so we had that first conversation. And through our work together over the next 6 months, she had huge revelations about who she was. And she dove in and went all in on living her design. And I'd say within, 4 to 6 months of that work, she had moved out of that apartment on her own, had broken up with that boyfriend, had met a new incredible guy who supported her gifts and her business. She was able to hire a house manager, pay for the apartment on her own. And let me tell you, when she met me, and before she met this work, she wasn't making money in her business. And then she went on to do consistent 10K months. And now she's a coach in my company, but she also just wrote a book, and she's teaching other women how to write books. She's got an incredible mastermind. And she's just a brilliant facilitator on her own, because that's really what this work is. It's not about codependency. I don't want you to be codependent on this design. I just want you to get into right and real relationship with who you are in this moment and take full ownership of who you are, as opposed to all the things that society is telling you that you are, like an empath. Getting real about where you are and who you are. So then you can once you have awareness, you can make choices, real choices. And so that's what this work really, really is. So she's my favorite example of a human design. And so if you are curious about your human design, how are you not? Come on. All right. Because you're curious about your human design, you can go to Jovian, JOVIAN, archive, ARCHIVE.com. Just took me back to my cheerleading days. And you're going to put in your date of birth, time. You want your exact time. Ask your mom, call the hospital, do some, birth ratification, I think it's called. Figure out your exact time, because it matters. And then you want to make sure that that it's in UTC, which is Universal Time Converter, I think. And make sure that it's in, Army hours, I guess is what you would also call it. Make sure you have all of your correct information, that you input it correctly, double, triple, quadruple check. I really don't like to give approximate readings. And if I do get an approximate reading, I don't really do readings, but if I'm talking to somebody and it's approximate, I talk very meta, because I don't want to give exact information, because I don't know for sure that it's exact. So you want to make sure you have your exact birth time. You put it in, and it's going to tell you your type,